what was the hardest roadblock that you faced, maybe whether it was software or logistics or coordination, and how did you guys overcome that roadblock in your project?
Mm, does anyone
I
want to
think
take it?
the most difficult part was there's a lot of features with the framework that we were using that was limited if you didn't use a premium service. So as soon as we transitioned into the paid subscription, which took a little while to coordinate with our client, it was smooth from there.
Okay.
So it was just mostly a coordination issue to
So
get the financial part ready.
So I'm not a software guy. So you're basically telling me the toolkit that you were using, you have to pay for the extra features. Is that
Yeah.
what you? Okay, I see.
Yeah, so the
Yes.
client wanted some additional things to work,
Mhm.
and they couldn't decide that right away because it's a very large decision to
Okay.
start paying for things. So that was the most difficult thing we had to deal with.
Yeah. Okay. So are there any freeware tools, or are people trying to make freeware tools to make these more widely available to people who don't have the resources perhaps to pay for this toolkits, or no?
So with Wix, since everything's template design, so some of the plugins we use for, say, like the social media to display, there is a free version that comes with it, but it'll be very limited. So it'll be up to like 2 social medias you can stream without paying, and then with the payment you can add up to 3 or more. So
And I would like to add into that Wix also. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wix is also, there's a blank container that you can actually code it yourself. So if you don't have the money, you probably can able to like code it yourself. But I don't know how secure that's gonna be though when it comes to so there's a possibility, or there's a opportunity there to code it. Maybe you can code it maybe securely, but I don't know if somebody wants to take a chance with that. But if you buy it, buy the plugin, I think it's more accountable for it. You know, if they build it, I'm sure it's compatible with their stuff. It's a guarantee that you're secured.
I guess I had another question is, you were working with this this group, community engagement group that's affiliated with the military. So did that pose extra security requirements for the system that you devised? Or basically there's some standards that all users expect and you met just those standards? There was no additional levels that were required?
So our client, they wanted to use the Wix framework. So basically, Wix does everything, the security-wise everything, so we don't have to handle anything. And pretty much we were building the frameworks and snippets, and we're just basically building new designs on the pages. And security-wise, Wix handled.
And additionally as well, one of the things that you have to be most careful about with security is the financial aspect of the website. Yeah. But they decided to delegate all of that work to a different service. So we didn't even have to worry about the key features that needed the most security. Mm-hmm. They're just pretty standard things in general.
Great, thanks.
No problem.
I can keep asking you stuff. I'm just curious. So how did you guys apportion the work? And how did you decide to work together? Was this something that started in a class? Do you guys all have the same skills and then you diversified to do this project? Or were you all coming in with different skills that were complementary? Kind of like, how did this team come about?
I think, well, we started in the classroom setting. So the group, we basically got to choose what projects we wanted to work on. And so all of us came onto this project. As far as skill set, I think everyone has a little different skill set. We do have similar backgrounds. Like Kevin has the iOS background, so he was able to build that app. Me and Kyle were in web development class last semester, and then Benny and Ramesh have experience outside, and then Lionel is part of our classes as well. So as far as breaking up the work, I think we just decided what would be the main pages, and we all just kind of randomly picked like what pages we would want to work on and divided it from there. So it was very like fair, I think, and we were very like willing to separate the work how we wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, and going through it, we were all like picking and choosing each other's webs or pages. So like if we saw something we wanted to edit on another page, then we could freely just talk about it before doing it and then work from there.
Great. Yeah. How many classes were involved in this project? Is this sort of a year-long project, or because I'm not in the computer science department, so I'm just curious, like how many sort of courses lead to something like what you produced?
So this is our final capstone senior course. So I think we started beginning of February, and it would just end towards the end of semester till May. So this would be the final week.
And this is kind of like a second version of this class.
Yeah.
Well, last year we had a similar class that was for a different client.
Great.
And now that we have more experience and we had more focus on the client instead of the technical knowledge that we needed to work with the client.
So now you graduate and you have a nice portfolio. You can showcase, right, the products you've made. That's pretty cool. That's great. Cool. Nice, nice. Great. Maybe the other two people, there's two people that we don't see their faces. Do you guys have any questions? Because I keep asking, but maybe other people want to ask some questions. I'll keep talking unless those guys want to say something. I don't know. Okay, so
one of them is our client.
Yes, Brandon is part of the organization we work for. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's 6 members in our team.
Oh, okay. Right. I know there's 6 of you. Yeah. But I know Jada and Brandon, right? So they are your customers, let's say, or
Brandon is the customer.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the customer.
Jada, I think, is for media stuff.
Okay.
For school.
I get it. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, what are your plans now that you graduate? What do you have in mind, or what do you want to do?
Oh, that's a good one.
Most of the time, we don't think that far ahead into the future.
Right.
So I still have one more semester.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay.
2 more classes.
Yeah. I mean, like for marine science, the students try to get a fellowship or an internship. Is it the same for you guys, or can you jump into
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
We're each looking for our own individual internships.
Yeah, or just like straight into a job, and just depending what specialization you want to go into, then you'll look from there.
Yeah.
So given the current circumstances, it might be a little difficult.
I mean, I think it's just good to use this as, like what you said earlier, just a portfolio. Be able to like put yourself on a platform with these credentials you've done before. So
yeah,
a good start.
But Benny, if you leave, who's going to do the CMDR website? We're going to sink. We're going to collapse.
I'll still be here because I'm thinking of taking my MIS. So
good. Okay.
if I were to take my MIS, and it would be great to keep up this updated. I mean,
Cool.
hopefully I can use this as a reference for my next real work.
Good.
If I do good,
Yeah.
continue with this, maybe I can use some reference. So I think this is a good idea, or maybe I'll keep working on it. So for now.
But I see you are on your way to another planet, no? Right now, it looks like.
That's a special background.
Yes,
But
yes, nice.
who knows?
Yeah. You like mine is a closet of old professor house. You like my virtual background? It's pretty good, huh? It's real.
Yeah, I've been.
Back there is my garage.
Yeah, nice. Yes, yes. Yeah, great. I don't know. Well, it would be nice to maybe hear something from your employer, let's say. Do you guys have any comments of how it felt working with students? Have you done this before?
Hey, this is Brandon. I've definitely worked with student groups before. I don't know that Afcea Hawaii has done a capstone project like this, but it was a great experience for us. We really enjoyed the time working with the team, and it's very beneficial for us as an organization as well. Going back to what we try to do within the community, we have some certain events where we tie in with different student groups across the island, and sometimes it's high school level, sometimes collegiate level, but in this case, this is the best long-term engagement we've ever had with a student group. I would say specifically to what we were trying to achieve, we really left it up to the team to help coach us through that from a technical perspective, and they did a great job running with the high level requirements we had and coming up with more specific solutions that would meet our needs. And I'm actually gonna go back to mute because I have kids running around the house. I'll save your ears.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, it's been great working with you too.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go look at another talk, but thank you so much, guys. Very nice
Thank you.
work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
See you
you,
later.
sir.
Bye.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Bye.
Should I stop recording?
Wait, do they keep coming or no?
Yeah, I think we have to be here for an hour.
For a whole hour, huh?
Well, I mean, I swear, oh, that's crazy. So they just keep coming in and out?
Wait, you mean there's more people coming in?
Oh,
I think
I'm
so.
not sure.
I don't know. I didn't get the memo of that.
It's gonna be like this for a while.
Well,
Wait, should I pause it? The
Well, Professor
recording?
Smith said she's gonna come in, so I just leave it playing.
Okay.
Brandon is here, so he probably wants to say something to us. Hello, Brandon. Can you hear us?
Hi, Brandon.
Hey,
guys.
Big B.
I have
Hi.
snack time going on here. I figured might as well keep you entertained.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, so when I first joined the meeting, I went to the central room, the live room. That's on like the main stone page. And then I had to click back and like, oh, I'm supposed to come directly into the. So it's possible. There's different. I don't know. You'd assume if the professors are supposed to go to all the sessions, then they'll figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we sent him the direct link.
Wait, okay, I was just about to say, we send that to him and stuff?
Yeah, so the same link you guys got is the same link that's
Yeah. Okay.
that's posted on the website they did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep the recording, Wendy, because we can always edit it and then maybe pick some video in the spot.
Yeah, I have to send it somewhere. I don't know where, but
It's gonna be a long,
Let's try that.
long load.
You can't have it too long.
you're like here, navigate it real quick. I'm like, all
You can't
right.
have it too long because it's gonna be too big now. Oh no, you gotta put it in YouTube.
Don't do that shit anymore.
Are you gonna do it?
We get visible.
Hey.
Invisible? Oh, here comes a Matthew.
All right, Remy.
Oh, I think there's a ghost behind you, buddy.
See, that just disappeared.
Yep. All right, Remy.
Oh look.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Hey,
How
how
are
are
you?
you?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
Dan.
Good. Got a big group all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice job on your presentation. I really liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So can you guys talk a little bit about the AFCEA just in general? Like I don't know anything about it. So you guys I thought did a really good job of saying your purpose of the presentation, but I was just wondering like who the AFCEA generally serves, like who in the military and like kind of what have they been using it for, and then how do you see like your modernization project kind of changing that or expanding the audience?
Let's see. I'll try to get Brandon.
Or I don't know if Brandon wants to
I was
talk
about to say,
about
Brandon,
it.
our group,
So our client is actually Brandon on the feed right now too.
Yeah, this 4-year-old here is the main client. This guy.
All right, best judgment.
So yeah, I represent Afcea in this sense, and the gist of what our organization does is operating within a nonprofit status. Our goal is to bring together the community from government, mixed with industry, mixed with academia, to basically provide solutions and a forum for discussion within the defense industry. So it used to be an acronym. So the organization is about 60 years old. It used to be focused on communications, but as time has gone on, the AFCEA technically doesn't stand for anything anymore, but it's meant to be a national defense focused organization. And then I wanted to pause and let the students come in. They were able to come to one of our meetings, and I think it was beneficial for them to see what the organization was like. So if they had some thoughts from what they took away from that, I think helps understand what the engagement is supposed to be like.
So like the meeting we went to is Afcea was really nice with like allowing people to network. Like we were able to meet like class generals, the head of IT of the state, and then I think the new VP of memberships as well. And going into that environment, I think a lot of people will think it's super intimidating, saying like these are all the people that have been in the industry for so long, and we're just college students just trying to figure out like what we're trying to do. And it's very nice because everyone is so welcoming. Like you can go straight to this table with these people who've been there for years and just sit down and have a conversation with them about like, where do you want to go in the future and what do you want to do? And they can give you advice that you probably won't get anywhere outside of that. So it was very eye-opening.
Yeah. For the webpage standpoint, I think the way they have their meetings set up is they display the webpage in the front of the room. So it's kind of good to see like the aspect of how they display things on their webpage. So it's a little easier for us to design it in a specific way. It made it easy for them to just show to their people and stuff. So.
So then did you guys present your new ideas to the whole group or just to Brandon?
There's a few people in the group that there's like Brandon, EB, there's a few people, Jeff, they're all pretty like high up there. But not like the whole group yet, but I think a few of them.
Yeah, the IT members basically who deal with the IT stuff, and admin, like President Jeff is the president, and Linda.
Linda, yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did you guys how is the reception? What was the feedback from AFCEA in terms of like how, if they're, I saw that I forget exactly how you guys put it, but something that like they're considering it still, it's still under consideration if they're going to switch it over to your new website design. I mean, that's I don't know, for an undergrad class, I think it's pretty exciting that you're engaging right with the industry and that they're telling you, like giving you advice as you go along and then telling you like, yeah, I mean, because after you graduate, it could be, you could, tell your parents or your friends like, hey, we made this website for these guys and they did it. So how is the feedback or where are you guys going to do the next steps for improving things, or whether just kind of like where you want to take it from here and what they're looking for, and then what you guys know, sort of like self-assessment that you want to improve?
As far as site ownership, Brandon already took over the site, so it's up to him how he wants to use it now.
Yeah.
But I think improvements is just, there's still some content that needs to be added. There's small things, but it's basically kind of, we already pushed it away from ourselves, and then it's up to them how they use it now.
I think moving on in the future, I think this is good. Like we talked about in the last person who was here, we said this is good for a portfolio, good to put on like a resume for internships, and it's a good little stepping stone.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, we had a conference meeting. I mean, the Afcea, the whole group of Afcea, they had a meeting. And when they mentioned about us updating their webpage, and they were happy to hear about that too, and they were excited that something different will come along. So now we have to do something different. So, but anyway, this is a volunteer base, so even if we graduate, we still be able to update the webpage. So and this is a good for us also as training.
What were the biggest? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to comment, as the client, we had originally just wanted to see where things got, and if we have an opportunity to transition from the old page to the new framework, we would do that after the semester's over, and kind of test out the new framework. Everything's been great. So our current web hosting contract expires in August, so we'll do like a 3-month transition between now and then, make sure everything is up and running, and then cut over to the new platform.
And then what did you guys find? What was the biggest challenge for you guys? It's a pretty big team of students. So was it like dividing up tasks, or some of the back end? I saw you guys used Wix, right, for the web development. Yeah, my lab needs a website, so if anyone wants volunteer time in the summer, we could use your skills. But what did you guys find as like the biggest challenges through the semester?
I think
Let me,
you can go.
okay. Yeah, well, the hardest part is for us is like deciding what framework to work on, because Brandon wanted to change from WordPress to something different. So at the beginning, it's hard because that's the most important thing, finding the framework to get this thing going. Because if you find the framework that works for everyone, then that's great, but it's not very difficult. I mean, it's difficult to find one. So we end up using Wix. So hopefully Wix will work. So far, it's been good for us. All right, Wendy, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like the most awkwardest thing was probably asking them to provide the financial support for Wix, because we became very limited with the free version. So it's like, hey, do you guys want to pay for this? So that was new for us, especially.
I think with Wix too, sometimes like you can only have like one person working on it at a time sometimes, and sometimes you get your stuff overwritten by somebody who's working on it at the same time. So I think at the beginning it was kind of hard to figure that out, but I mean towards the end we all got it and figured out, but at the beginning that was kind of like a little bit of struggle.
Yeah, on adding on that, like forming a team, it was kind of difficult. Everybody had to be together because we were all new faces. I mean, I was a new face to your other guys. They had a few classes in previous semester. I was totally new, but then time went on, and we kind of worked on how to form the project, how to storm it, and how to guide and norming it. And finally we came up with like a demo version of the website, and we presented it to I mean, we showed it to our client Brandon, and it was on the other site, I believe. What was it? um, I think it was I forgot. It's Wendy. What was the other framework we used? I forgot.
WordPress.
Oh, WordPress. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we used WordPress, but they didn't work. And then we went back to Wix, and it was great. And everybody liked it. And we kind of, also learned leadership skills and team management on adding on to that, and also decision making. Communication skill got better. We started talking through Slack. Everybody was in Slack. Everybody was replying, and finally everybody did their part on what menu, what pages, and what options they want to work. And everybody got together, put it in there, and it came out to be nice. I believe it's a nice website, and our client liked it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds great, and it sounds like you guys developed some really good skills. Does anyone else have any closing comments or anything?
Did you want to have help from on your webpage? Is it HPU?
Yeah, it's HPU. We actually we have a Wix page. We went through the same troubles. We started WordPress, then we started Wix. I don't think we have any money for past the free version though.
Oh, you got HPU, then I thought you would know HPU webpage.
Oh yeah, no, it's well, I don't know. They told us we couldn't have one through HPU, and then they gave some other lab their own through HPU. So I got to look into that this summer.
Okay.
Well, let us know if anything. We'll be here.
Yeah, we can add
all right. Well, are you guys all graduating virtually soon?
Oh, not yet.
I am.
Not yet. Some yes. All right. Well, congrats, especially to the graduates, and to the rest. Hopefully, we'll see you in the fall in person.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
I choked out.
I'm mad.
I was like, what was it? It was a WordPress.
Is there another one coming in?
You're good, buddy.
There's someone coming in, or that's it?
I mean, no one's coming in
I'll
right
just
now.
leave it for about 6 minutes.
That's only 2?
Yeah.
It's funny how they say, okay, I'm ready to
We
go.
only
and
have
like,
so little time left.
Right.
Remember, you still recording. Do you want to cut this one, or because you can't be sending?
Sending to.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do you have to be here till 6:30?
No.
Or
no,
when does the
3:30 till 3:30?
3:30?
It ends 3:30.
Oh, my bad. I'm 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
3:30. Yeah. So 30, because then I can just close this meeting and then just restart it.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you.
Should I just do that?
Yeah, go ahead, just in case. Yeah, you need to turn off the recording anyway. Maybe you can cut it off and